Okay, so I have someone coming to help with the house. So I want to hurry up and here we go. I was going to do it last night, but I got caught up in binging a show. Let me see if I have it on here. I was binging Survival of the Thickest, and I love the show. Okay, anyway. Season 15, episode 10. And this is going to be another quick one because there's not much happening. So Candy is doing her little Thanksgiving giveaway. Everybody else is at the house um, with family for Thanksgiving. Ralph and Drew have a brunch where the men cook. By the way, Ralph is online trying to sell these I think it's what Daddy's in the Kitchen. He gave all the men an apron and he's trying to sell his aprons. Yeah. So I would not be purchasing. Uh Everyone's coming over. Everybody's reaction to Bryce is kind of funny. People are making comments like Candy knows everybody. Candy was in the music industry at the same time that Bryce was in the music industry. I'm sure that she would have had an interaction with him because he was a part of I would say, moderately successful group. Um, I do think that Kenya has an overreaction, but I don't care. Candy talks about, um, how he's such a nice guy. Cool. Okay, so they're making a movie, and I think the movie poster's out. Moo Todd's movie poster out, and Candy makes a comment. Kenya hears, and she's like, "So where's my offer to be in the movie? I should be the star." But she finds out that they're casting Drew. Drew makes a shade talking about Kenya hadn't acted since in 22 years or something. That's a lie. She was on Family Affair on Netflix, so that was not necessary. Um, Marlo talks about how she dated Kenya's dude. Um, Kenya explains that her dude told her already that he went on a date. She says this to Candy. I don't care. Um, the guys are chatting. Not much is happening with the chat. It's just bleh. Okay. So at the luncheon, Sheree was like, "So you gonna be paying the bill to to the cook? You gonna be paying her?" So this was antagonizing, especially when everybody's laughing that Sheree's gonna try to bring up if somebody is gonna be paying the bill, knowing her situation that she has problems with paying bills. Anyway, the chef and Drew does explain why she's in a lawsuit with the chef, another chef. And I don't, Drew, because Drew has lied so much, especially pertaining to Ralph, it's very difficult to believe her when it comes to hardly anything. I literally watch and be like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I wait to see, oh, okay, so she was telling the truth. Like, I don't believe anything she says. Okay, so then the whole thing is they're going to go on this trip to mend relationships. She tells, isn't it Courtney? She tells Courtney that to stop touching me, and she touched her 3 times, and Courtney felt that some type of way about it, but Drew was like, just respect her boundaries. Um, the next time we see them, Ralph is talking about being in Vegas. Well, they make a flight all the way to Portuguese. I have no idea. I don't really care. Kenya was, I mean, Candy had an upset stomach, so that became a bit of an issue that people made comments about. That's unnecessary to talk about. Everybody was touching bases with the people back home. She was like, yeah, call up. Okay, so it's clear that there's turmoil in this Drew household because every single time she's in this confessional, this episode, she's shading Ralph. And this time she shades Ralph. I don't get the Magic City production company and her trying to get her husband to try out and how he's now in Vegas with Magic City. And people are like, you mean stripping? He's a tech guy. Does he need to take his clothes off? I'm confused. Drew's like, oh, I've never been to Africa, but I've been to South Africa. So production brings up a whole continent of Africa to demonstrate South Africa is in the name, is part of Africa. Anyway, I think she just misspoke. Um, Manyetta is like, yeah, well, I have an orphanage in Africa, flex. um, Kenya and Candy are talking, and she's like, man, I have been going through the divorce longer than I've been married. I'm glad she said it because I said it. Um, and then I think it's who it was Marlo and somebody else. I think it's Courtney, where Marlo was like, I don't understand why Kenya isn't so upset at her dude, Roy, for Martell. I mean, for him being in Marlo's DMs and going out on a date. Why didn't she have that same energy like she had to Martell and Martell making it be such a big deal? I think the issue is that Roy actually told her, whereas Martell didn't tell Sheree. And that's where it became a bigger deal. So I hear people were saying they got that she made a point. The point is that Martell was trying to hide it and lie about it, whereas Roy was more open with it in the beginning. Anyway, so at dinner, they're supposed to be getting things out on the table. Courtney brings up the whole, she felt a kind of way because of how Kenya was like, stop touching me. Kenya was trying to clear it up. She was like, it felt like you were being condescending and you were mocking me a bit. And so then therefore I didn't like the condescending of you continuously touching me. And we don't know each other like that. I think that is a legit point. Um, I'm not sure if I'd be offended if someone would be like, please don't touch me. Like, cool. I don't think you should be touching people anyway, unless we have a rapport. I don't necessarily touch people unless I really, really feel comfortable to touch them. And they typically demonstrate how open they are. And then you're like, oh, okay. But usually when people touch me and I tense up, but I can tell, like, if somebody keeps touching me, I'd be like, maybe I wouldn't make it such a big deal. I think that this was insignificant. But Drew began to talk to Sheree about how you're going around telling Courtney about this lawsuit and you're the one who's suing a bunch of people. So you're the one who's, no, not you suing them. Sheree, you're the one who has a reputation of not paying bills. So how dare you go around talking about me? So, and then Sheree was upset and tried to bring up the She by Sheree and how Drew said that you were taking back everybody's stuff. Everybody said they were taking back stuff. It seems like the only person who didn't get their stuff taken away is um, uh, what's that girl's chat? What's that? Uh, I'm distracted, sorry. It seems like the only person is Marlo, and I think people are afraid to take anything back from Marlo. So that's the only reason why. And I love how she was shady by she was wearing her She by Sheree stuff in the confessional. But I don't get why Sheree was hurt. Drew just wants an apology. She's like, stop deflecting to other things and focus on the main thing at hand, is that I have a problem with this. But Drew wants an apology. Sheree's not giving an apology. I love when Marlo was like, look, Drew's out there crying. Go get your friend. You're the host. Go take care of your guest. Um, well, another filler episode. Bye.